Hey everybody, we are going to start an assignment. I'm going to call it PipeWorld. And we're going to draw cylinders and we're going to draw them connected to one another like a pipe would be. So you're probably going to want to start with a pencil. So let's get right to it. Oh, if you have not watched the previous videos on how to see cylinders and pipes in 3D correctly, you need to watch that video. That's going to help you a lot. So I'm going to draw a bunch of pipes, and they may all actually end up being connected, but I know that I'm going to have them at different levels. Like some are going to be closer, some are going to be farther away, and they're going to have to overlap each other. So I'm using a pencil first because I may have to do some erasing. If I want to show one go in front of the other one, I'll have to erase part of one possibly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one pipe here. Now notice the thickness of it, okay? I'm going to draw another, just a longer pipe, slightly bigger and slightly thicker, as if it were slightly closer to us. It means just barely bigger than that. So I'm just going to, I'm going to draw a few of these about this size. And then let's draw a very large one here, a very thick one, like it's like really a lot thicker. Now, I want you just to watch what I'm doing. I don't want you to copy it. All right, so now I'm very lightly, remember eye level? I'm very lightly going to put the horizon line in because I probably will erase it when I get done. And I'm going to put the line that represents the point where the viewer is on the horizon line. In other words, if you could see the viewer, this line would go right between their eyes vertically. Okay? Now, so the reason I did that is because now I'm going to put a cap on this large pipe. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and since I'm below the eye level, I'm going to make it curve like this. Okay? That's kind of how the cap would look. And I'm going to make it go, I might have to erase some of this line, and that's why I said I want to use pencil. So I'm going to make this cap go this way. And then this side just turns a little bit. And now I want to make the pipe go back into the distance. So that means the end of the cap is going to curve like this. And then it's going to have a pipe going back that way. Okay. Now if it's going back, it should be getting smaller. So I want to notice it is kind of getting smaller. So now I'm going to put, that's going to curve this way, like that. And I'm going to put, because I'll be able to see a little bit of a lip. If you watch the other video, you know that a fitting that goes on the end of it is a little bigger. It goes into that fitting. And drawing that lip is going to make it look like it's going into something. Okay, so what does it go into? Now I want to make that lip go up, that fitting. So that is going to be a fitting that goes up like that. Okay, so and I want to go straight up. So if I want to go straight up, I know that the fitting will end, but because it's above eye level, it's going to be curved up just a little bit because it's just a little bit above eye level. Okay, so that fitting goes up like that. Kind of goes like that. Okay? So it looks like, so right now, it looks like this pipe comes up. This is fairly close to us. It comes up and it turns and it goes back away from us. Now this pipe's getting a little smaller, okay? And then it goes into another fitting and turns up. And now I'm gonna make that pipe go straight up. Let's make it about like this. Now if it's going straight up, it's not gonna get smaller. And let's make, because this pipe is a little bit bigger, I'm gonna make this pipe just go on past that. Now eventually I may go over all this stuff with like a Sharpie or something. So now watch this. I'm gonna make this pipe go right behind that pipe, and then it'll come up over here. And because I'm gonna put a fitting on it right now, and I think I'll take it this way maybe, and maybe then I come back down. So I'm gonna put a fitting on it now, but it's way above the horizon line, way above our eye level, so it's curved even more than the one down below. So more of a circular curve. And there's that lip. And then it kind of tucks back in behind the pipe. And then the fitting goes up. There's usually like kind of like a thick collar, you could call it. And now let's make that pipe go over this way. That's, if it goes straight, that's one of the easier ones to do. You might want to start with those. I know I started with that angle one. Let me make sure I get down here where you can see. So that's going to curve, and then it's going to be a fitting. Oh, but wait a minute. Now we're going straight across. Now, if you remember from the video, here's our center. So if we're way over there, then it's going to curve out. So it's going to curve kind of like this. That collar that is the end of the fitting. It's going to curve kind of like that. Okay, see that? Now I like to turn my, let's make this a fairly long one. Let's make it go clear over to here. So we'll do a pipe that goes clear over to here along the top. And then you can use a straight edge. That would be oh, did you see how, look at there. See how I'm past the center? And so I'm curving it slightly the other way now. Because now I'm over on the right side of the paper. So I'm gonna curve it this way. And let's send it back straight back down towards the ground or the lower level. So we'll put, and then we got to put, now we're above eye level, so, and we're going straight down, so we're going to curve it this way, kind of like a frown. And I'm going to use that to describe my up and down curves, a frown or a smile, because everybody knows what that is. Okay, and so now I'm just gonna take that pipe and start it going down. Now for right now, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna go back to some of these pipes. Now this pipe here in the middle, it looks like it's slightly, so it's a little bit to the right. So I'm gonna curve it that way. Make that little ring. A little bit of overlap. Okay. This is the collar for the fitting. Oh, I know what I want to make. Let's make, well, I want to make a T fitting here, but I don't think I will on this one yet. Let's make this one, what should we do? Let's make this one curve back. So we're going to curve it. It's not going to curve back much. Maybe this would be like but now if it's curved back, I can really see that curve. So maybe this would be like a 45-degree turn or something. And it's going to go behind this pipe. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now if we're going back, so it starts out about like that. I'm going to go back behind this pipe. and I'm going to get smaller. So let's get smaller. See how it got smaller? Like you imagine it'd be straight, but I don't do it because it's behind the pipe. And I'm going to put a fitting on there. It's really curved. It's kind of going back at an angle. And let's just make this one now, let's say it curves back and then it straightens back out. So it goes back to, maybe it's another 45-degree angle back the other direction, so that puts it back straight. So I put the band on it here. And now let's just take it right off the page. Okay. Notice how it's smaller. Goes right off the page, okay? So now let's, I know what let's put a T on this one. Now this is above, so I'm gonna go like this. Now this is a case of where I'm gonna have to do a little bit of erasing. Okay, so here's the band on that fitting. The fitting is where the pipes come together. Okay, now what I want to do is let's put a T on it. So I want to go this way, and I want to go this way, and then I want to do another fitting. Maybe the pipe gets a little smaller just because sometimes when a large pipe gets split, it goes into two smaller pipes. So I put the band on the fitting. This is going to look a little bit like a fire hydrant. You see where we're going to have to erase? We're going to have to erase a little bit of this pipe right here, but that's fine. We can do that. And now this is still straight towards us, and it's on the other side of this, so it's still, I know it's kind of weird to think about it that way, but it's still kind of curving this other way. So let me erase that other pipe, because we're going to go in front of it. And then now out each end of this is another pipe. And then over here, it's a pipe that goes the other way. And so now I can go back to this pipe that goes behind it, and I can just continue it down here. And then that will eventually keep going. So, I wonder if we can connect these pipes. So here, I went the wrong way. I started to curve it the wrong way. So see, I'm on the other side of the center line here. So I'm going to curve it this way a little bit. And I'm going to put a band on the end of this. We're going to put a fitting on this. And we're just going to make it, you know what? Let's make a little, we'll just invent our own fitting. That curves up like that. This pipe comes over. We're going to join these two. You might want to use a straight edge, okay? And I'm going to put, this curves out just a little bit. So I got a band that curves a little bit because I'm past the midline there. And now we just put a little fitting like that. Now, sometimes it might be called an S fitting, an S curve, okay? But sometimes that might be a flexible curve, and honestly, the plumber would probably get fired because those two pipes didn't line up, but that's okay. We're not plumbers, okay? So we can draw them however we want to draw them. All right, so let's put a fitting on this one now. We're slightly past there. And I don't know, what do you, let's take this one up. So we're gonna turn it, let's go up at a 45. That would be interesting. So 45 is gonna be kind of going off in this. Oh, and let's go back too. Let's make it get smaller. So we can go behind these pipes. So 45 would turn kind of like this, and then there would be a band like this. Okay. And now remember, if we want, so instead of just taking the pipe and bending it this way, we're also going to turn it back. So it's going to go back behind here. So it's going to be getting smaller And this is, again, this is where you could take a straight edge. Now we want it to get smaller. So see how it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, like it's going out of the picture. All right. Yeah. Okay, so this is what you're going to do, and this is going to be a two-part assignment. And I want you, because this is going to be an exclusive assignment. Not everybody knows this, but this is going to go to only the group of students that have been doing an outstanding job, okay? So you're just going to keep drawing pipes, and they're going to go in front of each other or around each other. Try not to do too much of this little S-type thing. Try to do all of the corners, like these elbows is what they're called, okay? A place where something bends is called a joint quite often, or a hinge. So at the joints in the pipe, you're going to have some sort of fitting. You know what? Now that I see it, down here would be a good place for another T. So maybe this is like maybe this is like a T that comes off a main pipe. Maybe this one. Who knows? We could swing it around, and the lower it goes down underneath that, the more we have a smile type curve. Okay. So we go in there, and maybe we split it, and it's a T type elbow, and it even let's make it straight down here. So over here we have a band that curves that way because we're away from the center line, the vertical center line, the midline. Over here, oh, see, I goofed. Over here, because we're still on the other side of this, it also curves that way, only not quite as much because we're getting closer to the midline. See, I almost goofed up. That's why we have to think about it. And this pipe goes off this way. And this pipe goes off this way. It looks like it probably goes behind this one. So we're just going to continue this one right down. This one goes behind. So your assignment, maybe it goes over here and does something crazy, goes up through here. Your assignment is to just fill the page. I mean, make it so that when somebody looks at this drawing, they're like, wow, who did that? That is crazy. That person must have been really talented to do something like that, okay? And just have fun with it, and keep in mind, you've got the midline here, so any curve like this, any pipe that's going this way, it's the junction's gonna kind of curve this like this, unless it's going away from us. And if it's going over here and it's past this side, it's gonna curve this way, okay? And the up and down, we've talked about that before. We got a smile type curve down below, a frown type curve up above, okay? Here's a frown type curve, there's a smile type curve, okay? They're curving different ways. And if it's right on there, then it's gonna be straight. Okay, so this is gonna take a while. We'll call this Pipeland Part One. And for sure, put lots of thought into this, take lots of care on this, even though it seems like a silly assignment. Take your time and do an awesome, awesome job on this. This is gonna be an impressive one.